nothing changes.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the channel. It is January 11th, Monday, 2021, and this is a topic I didn't want to have to cover, but I think it's very, very important that I do cover it. It is Amazon related and it is social media related, both of which are big parts of my business. So let me start the preface with two things. Number one is, over the last couple of days, my personal opinions of politics have come under fire. And that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to watch me. That's why we all have choices. If you want to watch me for business and ignore my personal side of things, that's fantastic too. I welcome everyone and I don't judge you based on any of that. Second of all, I don't bring politics and things onto this channel for that exact reason. I mean, there's just no good that comes of it. Even before 2020-21, there was no good that came of it. And now there's certainly no good that comes of it. But when a topic such as what I'm going to cover in about 2 seconds comes to light, it's important that we at least have an understanding and a discussion of it. We can do it respectfully and as adults. Some of us, it's been apparently, or made apparent to me over the last few days that there are some people on social media who can't have discussions as adults because if you don't agree with them, you're canceled. So if you can have a adult topic conversation in the comment section, please do. But if you can't, please just scroll on. Nobody's making you watch this, nobody's making you respond, and nobody's making you agree or disagree with the opinions or the facts that I present here. So let's just leave it at that and let's get into the story. And the story is that Parler is a social media networking platform. They're similar to Facebook. They are fairly new. They have been suspended, if you didn't know, just about 2 days ago, I think it was Saturday, by Apple and Google, that's the iPhone and Android providers, off of their app store. If you already had it, it should have still been on your phone. And now their website, which was also desktop available, has been suspended by AWS, which is Amazon's web service, which basically provided their domain and hosting. In other words, that's how they were on the internet. So they have lost all ways of existing, essentially, Parler. Now, the reason that the platforms, the iOSs and the websites have given, and Amazon have given for their suspension and blockage, is because they supported or encouraged or incited the violence that happened last Wednesday at the US Capitol in response to Trump supporters, and that they were not moderating the content enough and allowed users to get together to create what happened and allowed it to happen. So that's their explanation. Okay, let's go over to the other side of it where people said that activity, that Wednesday activity at the Capitol in DC happened on Facebook, it happened on Twitter, it happened on Instagram, it happened also on Parler perhaps. So it happened on multiple platforms. So for one platform to say that they were the reason that it happened is false. It happened across the boards. Hence why Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those took down the president and other people. Now here's the thing. A lot of people are going to immediately go to my comment section and say they're private businesses and they have the right to take down anybody that they want, because some people are going to claim censorship and it's not fair, and other people are going to say, look, it's private businesses, they can do what they want. And that's absolutely correct. As a private business, you get to decide what you do. However, there are restrictions, even on private businesses, as to how far you can take those limitations. For example, let me give you two that make perfect sense here, three actually. A private business cannot kick out a woman simply because she is a female. That is against civil rights. The ACLU, all of our constitutional rights say that being a woman does not exclude you to the services of a business. If a business tells you you can't come in because you're a woman, that's a lawsuit. The same goes if you tell them your religion or your race or your gender. Any of that stuff is completely protected by the Constitution. So a private business is welcome to tell you you can't come in because you're wearing a blue shirt or no shirt. That's no shirt, no shoes, no service. That is their right, and those rights are not, their rights are not protected by the Constitution. You cannot argue that. If they tell you not to come in, you can't come in. However, if it's because you're a woman, yeah, they can still stop you and you can't go in, but the lawsuit dropped on their lap is huge. That's just the way it works. That's facts of the matter. So we cycle back to these platforms removing people for whatever the reason is. And they have the right to. However, if you're familiar with antitrust monopoly laws, in 1990, somebody help me with this, 95, 96, 97, sometime in the mid to late 90s, Microsoft, Bill Gates, at the time the world's richest man, was that way for decades, was sued by the United States government for antitrust and monopoly violations. What does that mean? It means the US government accused Microsoft, a platform who created Windows, of course we all know that, of violating a monopoly and not allowing fair competition or fair including of other companies on the platform. So what happened? Let me make a long story really short, a really long story really short. Microsoft, when you bought a computer, there was no Mac iOS at this point, remember that. When you bought a computer with Windows, you were given Internet Explorer. That was Windows, Microsoft's connection to the internet. You click it, you join the internet. Internet Explorer still exists to this day, as far as I'm aware. I don't use Windows. But that was it. There were other Internet Explorers who were competition with IE and Microsoft at the time. For example, Juno, Earthlink, Netscape, which was the big one in this lawsuit. Netscape was another Internet Explorer. Windows on a computer would not support Netscape, Juno, Earthlink, etc. on purpose. Bill Gates controlled that and made sure that the only thing that would open was Windows, i.e. Explorer. So when you bought a computer, you did not have a choice. It had to be Internet Explorer. Think about it today. When you buy a MacBook, when you buy an Apple laptop or desktop or iBook, and I can choose, Apple comes with its own Internet Explorer. It's called Safari. I can bring it up. Or if I choose, I can go over and open up Google Chrome. I have options. I can use Firefox. I can use whatever it is that I choose to use. And that's because of the lawsuit against Microsoft back in the 90s that said you can't stop competition because of the operating system on the computer, and that goes for any business. So let's correlate that into 2021. Parler, what is the social media marketing or social media networking website and platform, Amazon cannot quash Parler simply to prevent competition to other platforms that it deems better, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It cannot stop somebody simply based on a difference of political opinions. If you do, you risk being called a monopoly and an antitrust. So today, effective as of a few hours ago, it's a little after quarter of 7 p.m. Eastern, 6:45 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, Parler filed an emergency injunction and emergency federal trademark antitrust lawsuit against Amazon and AWS for monopolizing the market. And this will probably, depending on the judges, go through, and Amazon will be either required to allow Parler back on, or Parler will be given a special set of circumstances where they can get back live. Now, this has nothing to do with my personal opinions or my politics. I don't care. I hate all politicians. I hate what this country has become on both sides of the aisle. But this is a very big precedence because the Microsoft case already exists. So please keep that in mind. Amazon is treading a thin line. Now, how do we know this? Amazon CEO and founder, the world's most richest man until just a few days ago when Elon Musk overtook him, is Jeff Bezos. He hates Donald Trump. They hate each other. That's the reason. Parler is mainly filled with supporters of Donald Trump. Amazon's seen that and said, kaboom. Period. There's no other reason they did it. Parler did not incite violence at the Capitol or anything else. If there were people on the site, and I'm not saying there weren't, that did talk about the violence and get together, that happened on multiple other platforms, right? So why isn't Twitter down? Why isn't Facebook down? Why isn't Instagram removed? Why isn't all these other platforms removed that also played a part in that violence, which we denounce? Obviously, not the way to go about it. But Parler was removed. Why? Because Amazon's owner, Jeff Bezos, has the ability to remove Parler. He doesn't have the ability to remove Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't care. He removed it on his platform because he can. Why? Because he hates that narrative or side of things, basically. So that's where we're at with that. That's monopoly, that's antitrust. How long will it take for the federal government to hear the case? The Supreme Court, potentially. We don't know. Under normal circumstances, I would say this has very little chance of moving along because a lot of the judges in place right now, and I would imagine this is going to go through Washington State, which is Seattle where Amazon is. I could be wrong, could be where Parler is. They are typically leaning to the side that would support Amazon. But if this moves its way up to the Supreme Court, they lean more conservative. So we'll have to wait and see. But yes, companies have the right to enforce private business policies, but they cannot create monopolies and antitrust, or they can be sued. And as we've seen in this example, Amazon has been sued. How far will it go? I don't know. I'm not a judge. I'm not a Supreme Court. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'll update you guys, but I don't see this ending well for Amazon either way. They're already getting a lot of backlash, and the lawsuit just adds another layer of oh crap to it. So Amazon being sued by Parler for violation of antitrust, monopoly, and censorship. We'll see where it goes from there. Thought I'd update you guys. I just want everybody to be clear on it. I don't know how it'll end. Your opinions, your comments, your concerns are welcome respectfully to me and to the other folks in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll leave you with that. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you updated on all this news, reselling, making money, the world of e-commerce, the Amazon Parler, back and forth, and whatever else I can find for you guys to post. I appreciate it as always, and all of my links are below in the description box. Click see more. There's tons of important references, guides, resources, and other companies to check out. Thank you as always, and I'll see you next time.